Well, Rob Zombie followed up 2007's Halloween with his own interpretation of Part 2, which came out in 2009. It's a weird kind of wackadoodle type of film because he seems to have gone full zombie here, where he's kept the kind of framework of a madman killing people and done a lot of what he does kind of best in this. And there are moments where I can understand why people really do not like this, or why it has such a polarizing opinion. The story here takes up with the PTSD that Laurie is suffering through this one, with the effects that it's had on Loomis, who takes a completely different tact from a lot of the other movies. As we follow Laurie try to deal with what's happened, we see Michael starting his rampage and just killing people off, and we get the recurring characters from the first one.
Did you hear Laurie last night?
Yes, Dad. I hear her every night. Please, God, don't say anything to her.
Oh, I won't.
And I kind of like this one. I think I like it more than the first one. Not to say that it doesn't have its problems, because it most certainly does. Starts off with a kind of phrase about a white horse. Obviously something that you could put a kind of profound nature onto, but more like the kind of thing that you would think about when you were off your head going, this is deep, this is something that's really symbolic. I'm going to just include this all the way through the film, but it doesn't really add much. I like the ghostly figures of his relatives talking to Michael, taunting him, chasing him on. He is definitely the hulking behemoth who's causing complete carnage and chaos here. And you get Laurie, which I really like the idea of exploring the PTSD that she's got from the events of the first movie. It hasn't just been washed away and everything is back to normal. We're seeing the ramifications of a severely traumatic incident in her life having effect on the rest of her life. I also kind of like the idea of Loomis. Now, I both like and hate this idea, because simultaneously it's not the Loomis I know, it's something very different, but in a strange way I could see this happening, finding that cult fame as a writer of a traumatic experience, almost preemptively covering the fascination with true crime. You know, it's kind of alluding to that early on through the book form, which I really kind of appreciate. And the kills and Michael in this one is particularly brutal. Unrelenting, bloodthirsty, and causing carnage. But the movie feels almost as if it's starting to lose its cohesion the further it goes on, as we start to focus on these characters who, again, the dialogue is horrible. It doesn't feel natural in this one. It feels as if these are people all singing from the same voice. They don't have that differentiating tone, and they all feel very zombie-esque in what they're doing. I appreciate the fact that it's so different from the first one. The first one was a kind of mishmash of two movies that didn't have enough space to really work. This one feels like Zombie's definitely done his own thing. It's not great, it's different, and I appreciate the fact that they've done something different.
He's still out there, rich and famous, all because of our pain. I hope he's having fun.
But I can understand how this kind of never had a part 3 after it. And if it did, I can imagine it probably wouldn't have had Zombie attached to it either. Halloween 2 is a weird concoction of a slasher movie. It definitely has that individual take that Zombie has put upon it. It sticks to some very mild rules for Michael, but it pushes the boundaries in certain aspects as well. The ghostly people talking to him, telling him what to do, Loomis's sidetrack into a mild 15 minutes of fame, Laurie's PTSD are all interesting things, and taken individually are quite, fascinating. But altogether, the movie falls short. It has the blood, it has the guts, it has the kills, the screams, the chases, but all these conflicting ideas don't quite come together. I like it, I don't love it. It's probably on a par with the Halloween for me, maybe slightly above it. But I can understand how people just absolutely hate it. But yeah, I would love to know your thoughts on Halloween 2, whether you loved it, hated it, whether you think more poignantly whenever you see a white horse. Let me know your thoughts in the comment box below. Can't wait to read your comments on this one. There'll be more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to the Patreon membership program and manvfilm.com, all ways in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.